Okay, I'm having some trouble with this stepper relay, getting this secondary ratchet to return. If you're not familiar with how this works, I'm going to show you. As you get pulses from the mystery control, first 3 pulses have to do with the volume control. And the 4th pulse, this little pawl here will release. In this case it doesn't really show anything, but as you continue on, this is the secondary ratchet. It's getting stretched out with this spring. This is connected to the switch underneath, which hooks up all the presets to the circuit. As you dial the mystery control, I'll show you now, the first 3 pulses have to do with the volume control. The 4th pulse will release this ratchet, or this pawl here. And this spring should pull this all the way back, which it doesn't. And I can do it manually. Okay. That's what it should do. And that will bring the switch underneath to the starting position. And then each additional pulse will rotate the switch through a different preset. So right now this spring, there's too much friction in here or something. The spring will not return. And that's what I'm going to have to work on right now. This should be coming back. There's a couple settings. Actually, the documentation says if this isn't working to send it back to the factory, but we know that's not going to happen. There's a couple of settings for tension. There's something here and something down here, but I don't know exactly what they do. There's another setting underneath where the wiper blades is attached to the shaft here, and I think I'm going to try to, there's a couple of set screws in there that can be adjusted. I think I'm going to try to go that route first, see if I can lessen the tension on this or lessen the friction on this to get this to move smoothly. So I'm going to have to turn the set over and hook it back up into its little cradle, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what we do. But before I go, I wanted to point out that there is a set of contacts in here. The first 3 pulses actually connect to the volume control so that it can be lowered and raised. And it also has a muting switch in here which mutes the circuit audio while this switch is turning, so that you don't get a lot of static and scratchiness as it's going through its paces. Okay, I've got the set back in its cradle. This is the switch that's turned by the relay above it, and there's that I was going to try to remove to loosen the tension. There's a couple of these tiny set screws right here and here that have a rectangular head on them. And I was trying to figure out a way to get those loose. They're in there really tight. I tried it with pliers and they're not budging, so I sprayed a little more WD-40 in there to try to penetrate through. And I must have hit a spot that I hadn't hit before with this, because I have sprayed WD-40 in here before. And it seems to have released the ratchet. So I'm going to show you how it works right now. So this is I'm going to rotate all the way through the station. Say we chose the last station with the mystery control. Okay. Now I'm going to choose a different station. This is the first pulse, second pulse, third pulse. Now the 4th pulse should release that pawl and release the ratchet, and it should spring back, which it does. That's the way it's supposed to work. And then each consecutive pulse will choose a different station. And we'll do it again. First pulse, second pulse, third pulse, 4th pulse will release the pawl, and everything springs back. That's just the way it should happen. Hopefully it'll stay that way. I sprayed some more WD-40 all around that area and behind it. I must have just hit the sweet spot. There must have been one little sticky spot that I couldn't get to before. So now I'm going to continue on. and I'll be back.